All right, guys, the NBA draft is finally here. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the players the Chicago Bulls should go ahead and focus on in round one. And what are some of the players that they should focus on if they happen to trade into round two. This is Rico Greenhowe. This is another episode of Bulls Digest. And before we jump into it, I want to let you know that 78.2% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. And without further ado, guys, let's talk about the first topic of the day here, which is what are the first round prospects should the Chicago Bulls take a look at, guys? And so, look, we know that we need to get better on the front line. We need a power forward. We need a center. We need a wing. I think that it starts with a center, and I think I like him a lot, and I think it starts with Khalil Ware. I think that Khalil Ware checks a lot of boxes for me. The athleticism, the way he can shoot the ball, the way he tracks down the basketball on the defensive end, guys. He was incredible, all right, to me. When I looked at his tape at the University of Indiana, it's been great. And I think he's answered a lot of questions about his motor, guys. And so just throwing up some video of him. I mean, look at this guy, just posterizing people, running down on the break. And the one thing that I do love about Khalil Ware is I don't think he needs a guard to go ahead and facilitate for him. Now, is it going to be great? Can you imagine Giddey coming down and throwing lobs to this young man? It's going to be absolutely incredible, all right? And so I think that for sure he is a top prospect on my draft board. I think that we should go with Khalil Ware. Now, next, other mentions on the channel. I think we would be fine if we went with Donovan Clegan or Zach Edey. I will say that both lack foot speed. I do not think that that is going to be the issue with Khalil Ware, which is why I rate him much higher. And I think that we're able to play at a faster pace with Khalil Ware than we would initially with Donovan Clegan and Zach Edey. Now, am I going to be mad if we make those draft picks? No, I'm not, because we do need size. We need somebody that is going to be an interior defender. That is what Donovan Clegan does. I think a lot of people have maybe went ahead and labeled him as perhaps being the best shot blocker in the draft. And then with Zach Edey, there's a lot of question as to will his skill translate, and I think it does. I think that he's still learning how to play the post. And for me, I think that one of his comparisons where he could get to, he doesn't necessarily have to shoot the three ball, but if he's able to knock down the mid-range a lot like a Yao Ming and still go in the box and still be able to switch on the pick and roll, then I think that you have an incredible player with Zach Edey. So they certainly are on the board, I think, for players that should be drafted. And that is, if Chicago just has a pick, I'm fine with them picking that if they go there. Now, if they were to go ahead and, maybe trade up, maybe if they take a little bit of a chance, but I still like them, it's going to be Buzelis. I think that Matas Buzelis, the hometown kid, I think that he's going to be okay. He is 6'8". He has a 6'10" wingspan. At least that's what he's listed as on the Ringer. I know he's going to have to get a bit stronger, but I think I would be fine with him operating as my 4. I feel like he has a little bit of similarities kind of to what Sagoon is over in Houston. So I think that this would be another good fit. And again, I think that this beefs up the interior of the Chicago Bulls. So I like those players to start out. Now, these are some of I'm okay with them, but I think they're going to be deep sleepers for us, guys. And I think that now we're starting to explore the territory if we have 2 picks, all right? Because it was floated out there that, hey, we might be looking to move Caruso, which that's already out the door. But if we do move Lavine, all right, and let's say that Lavine is moved and we get 2 additional, or we get 2 picks, excuse me, not 2 additionals, but we get 2 picks in this year's draft, then I'd like to see us go big, but then I'd also like to see us go with guys like this. Okay, so Tristan Da Silva is a guy that I like. I like the fact that they're saying he's going to be a matchup problem. I think that he is going to be a solid scorer in the NBA. And I think one of the knocks about him is just that you just know what you're going to get out of him. All right. This is a guy that did go through all his years in college, guys. But look, he's shooting 39% from downtown. He has a 6'10 wingspan, guys. So that is got to be music to our ears. And he's 6'8 as well. A true small forward. Off the ball defense is wonderful, has a great feel for the game, and the versatility is absolutely there. So I like him as a sleeper pick if we're going to go with two. Next, I think I'm going to go with my man TSJ. I loved his jump shot. Haven't talked about him enough on the channel, but I do want to go ahead and give him his just due, man. Because look, I looked at his tape. The way he locked up defensively, I was like, man, even though they have him listed at a 6'5", guys, I don't mind him playing the three. I'm serious. Like, the way he plays defense, I'm like, we might be able to get away with him playing the three, okay? Because his on-ball defense was incredible. And when he gets hot, I mean, he's got a nice-looking jump shot, guys, and he's a left-hander as well. This guy can get to the rim. He causes some problems for you. And so I like him a lot. Like, I definitely think that he for sure would be another sleeper pick for me if we were to go with two picks there. Another guy that I'm pretty high on, it's going to be Tyler Smith. All right. And so I like Tyler Smith because of the jump shot ability. Now, he is going to be a defensive project for sure. Like, you're going to have to get my man to find a way to understand angles and be able to take away angles and to use his height a little bit more better on the defensive end. But here's a guy that I believe he's 6'10", guys. He has a great wingspan, but he's a left-hander as well, can knock down the jump shot, great off the catch and shoot. Showed that he could score in multiple ways. All right. And so I like that a lot with him. I feel like I'm okay if we were to go with Khalil Ware and Tyler Smith in this draft. Like, I'm 100% okay with that. That's fine. If we were to go with a combo guard, all right, then that's going to be a Devin Carter situation. I don't like the fact that we would be taking a combo guard because we already have one. And then that would mean that we're going to make some more adjustments to the roster. I don't know what's going to happen. And this is assuming that we would trade Lavine. So, I mean, that could open some things up. But I do like him a lot. I think that he has a lot of like a Jalen Brunson and a Derek White feel to him. So I do like him as long as we are getting a big, guys. And so that leads me now to the next part of the video and what the Chicago Bulls might do if, for instance, somehow they trade into the second round. So let's say that we were to move, I don't know, DeRozan or Vooch or something. And some way we end up in the second round, guys. So who are my sleeper picks that we would go with in round two, guys? And so, look, starting with round two, I think that I like this guy. I like Adem Bona out of UCLA if we don't pick a center up in the first round. And this is assuming somehow we mess it up in the first round. We don't get a center. I like this guy a lot. I love his motor. I loved a lot of things that he did for Mick Cronin out there for UCLA. Watched a lot of those games. The one thing that I love about him when they compare him to Montrezl Harrell, guys, is that that's motor, okay? When I remember Montrezl Harrell in Louisville, his tape jumped off at me because the effort, okay? And because you play with such effort, you'll make up a lot of things that you don't have in skill. And that's why I like him a lot. So if you're bringing me a high energy big, if especially we've missed on the bigs that I mentioned in the first round, and the fact that we're taking a step back, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll take Adem out of UCLA. I think that is a pick that perhaps we can go with. Next, this guy intrigues me a lot, okay, with Bobby Clipman. I like him a lot. I think that the way he was able to score with the ball in his hand, I love that. The versatility for sure is something that I loved about him. I love the fact that they put him with a mix of Trevor Ariza and Nick Batum. I do see a little bit of that for sure, but I loved what he was able to show on the defensive tape. I mean, there were times where he did get beat, but he has a certain feel for the game that I do love, and the fact that he shoots 33% from downtown, I like that. He could be a lot better of a rebounder, but I will say, guys, when I looked at the tape and him playing defense and the off-ball defense, it was beautiful, guys. Next up, Jalen Bridges, guys. This guy is another guy that I absolutely would like to see. I think he's going to be a great role player in the NBA. He would fit the bill, guys, as a wing player for us. He's 6'8". He can knock down shots. I think there was one time in Baylor he shot 6 threes, and he made all of them. All right, so this guy definitely has a good shooting stroke. Like, he's really good from downtown. But the one thing that I do love about him too is that he's a great rebounder from the wing position. All right, and so that's music to the Chicago Bulls' ears as well. Like, guys, I don't know if we've had a true small forward, man, since maybe like Luol Deng. Like, seriously. And that's kind of what I like about this young man out of Baylor. Like, he has that Luol Deng type of feel. Like, he just comes in and he's like, I'm not the man, but I am a significant role player that can play off others. And that's kind of one of the things that I liked about Tristan da Silva as well. Like, I think that we would get a true small forward, guys. And so, that leads me to some deep reaches here, guys. And this leads me to this young man, all right? And I like this guy a lot. He's the youngest player in the NBA draft, all right? This is Ulrich Chomche, and I hope I said his name right. But anyway, this guy played over in the NBA Africa League, I think. You're going to see that he also played at the academy in Cameroon as well. But look, 13 points, 38% from downtown, and 9 rebounds, guys. He is super raw as a center. The only reason I would suggest that we take this guy is if somehow we did not get it right in the first round. We didn't get a center. And even if we did get a center, guys, and we were to just take a chance with a pick or an undrafted player, then I wouldn't mind taking a chance with this young man. I think that he has a good chance, guys, to really go out there and to be, I think, a contributor in the NBA. But it is going to be a little bit of a development project. And the one reason why I'm high on him as either an undrafted player or you take a chance with him in the second round, guys, is because when you look at his tape defensively, it's unbelievable. Like, I cannot believe that he's 18 years old with what he was able to do on tape, guys. Like, we talked about Zach Edey, we talk about Clegan, and we talk about their foot speed. And I've talked about how Khalil Ware is got much better foot speed. I think that this young man has better foot speed than maybe all of them put together. He might be the best athlete in the draft. And I will say this, at 6'10", he played soccer, all right? And this is an interesting fact because, look, the last person that I know that played soccer and then became an NBA player was this guy named Akeem Olajuwon, and he turned out to be pretty good. The thing about this young man right now is he's probably going to look a lot like a Nick Claxton right now. Like, he doesn't have a defined game. He's one of those guys where you look up in the box score and he's got double figures and he's got double figure rebounds out of nowhere. Like, he just finds a way to affect the game in that aspect, guys. And so, look, I think that this is a chance for the Bulls, or the Bulls should take a chance with this guy. Again, if they don't take care of business in the first round, if we get into a situation where, look, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with this roster, we have some time to take a look at a player like this. We're not investing a whole bunch because it is a second round pick. Then I say go for it, guys, because like I said, the tape, it spoke for itself, man. Like, look at this, man. Like, the bounce pass, right? He has a great feel for the game. Look at the block shot ability. That's what I'm talking about. His defensive ability, his way to just claw up rebounds and finish at a high level. Look at the catch and shoot as well. or excuse me, there's a rebound there. But you're going to see, too, he has a great catch and shoot, too, as well, guys. And that's what you love about this guy. And so I know he hasn't played against any kind of elite competition. I think he only played a small sample size. And the one thing I will throw out there, factual, too, as well, is that I think he went into a showcase against the G League, and this is what essentially put him on the map, guys. He went out there, he led the NBA Africa team out there to 2 victories, and I think like a lot of executives were looking, and they're just like, man, who is this guy, right? And so, again, very raw. I think this might be a chance for the Chicago Bulls to snatch something up either after the draft or late second round. But anyhow, this is a long video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Do you think that we go with Tyler Smith, and do we go with Khalil Ware? Do you feel like the Chicago Bulls are just going to retain 1 pick and they're somehow, some way just going to pick a guard? They're not going to be aggressive on draft night and get into the second round. And if they do get into the second round, do you like any of the picks that I put out there, guys? Do you like the young man from Baylor? Do you like the youngest player in the draft? Any of those guys that I put out there in the second round? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And hopefully we get it right for this upcoming draft, guys. And, hopefully you guys will see me on later as we go live for the NBA draft. But signing out, this is Rico Greenhowe. Even though we don't know what we're going to do, go Bulls. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.